Nice knowing you. Would you be interested in that job?
Oh, I'd consider it.
We start with Travis Fryman, who has 4 homers off of Tim Wakefield. And I spoke with Travis quite a lot. Yesterday was not a good day for him, but we spoke before the game, and I asked him why the success. He said, well, I really didn't know that, although I do remember a couple of the home runs. He said, compared to most of the other hitters, I stand closer in the box generally, and I hit on balls that are higher than most of the other hitters because I stand there, and most importantly, I have a shorter stroke than a lot of other hitters, and all those kind of add up to be successful against a knuckleball.
Exactly, especially being close to the plate and up in the box where that he hits that ball before it's allowed to break down out of the zone.
Rip, foul, his success continues. Fryman in the mid-300s, including those 4 home runs off of Wakefield. Rips a base hit as the Indians have a run, but they now finally have a hit.
Well, here's what Fryman does. He's up in the box. This ball starts up high, and by the time it finishes, it's about belt high. So Fryman's able to get a good, quick swing right through the ball. That's what all the hitters should do, really, on a knuckleball, is move up in the box. Pretty good pitch. Tim so far staying with the knuckleball. He's not throwing a slider or a fastball. And as I mentioned earlier, that's when he gets in trouble, when he starts throwing too many fastballs. He's got to stay with the knuckleball to get the feel of it, whether he gets behind the count or not.
Little chopper, Vaughn playing in, so he makes the play to second base to Garcia-Pera. They try to go back to first base to Benjamin, who made a nice stretch. I was thinking it might be Wakefield over there, who came up in pro baseball as a first baseman. So one thing Timmy can do is make a good stretch.
Yes, he can. He got over there quickly, but Benjamin was right there. Little chopper on the knuckleball right out in front of the plate. Mo Vaughn takes it on a hop, shuffles his feet, throws a strike to Nomar, who had to hesitate just a bit to make sure Benjamin got there, and also Fryman was on him very quickly trying to break that up. It just enabled him to be safe at first base.
That'll bring up the number 8 hitter, Sandy Alomar. And we discussed yesterday, of course, Sandy, both of his knees been bothering him all year long by far and away. When he's played, more than 60 games, and he's had those sort of seasons. This was his biggest struggle by far as an offensive player that he's ever had. 6 homers, 235 for Sandy Alomar.
Yeah, he had a lot of injuries. And Sandy has had that throughout his career, a ton of injuries. Playoff situations are different. He's healthy now. Looking for a ball up.
But still, he played 117 games.
Right.
I mean, 6 homers, 117 games, and an average like that. I mean, that's not Sandy's numbers.
No, it's not. And you expect a big year coming off the year he had last year. His outstanding year, and he had a great playoffs last year.
Season numbers. I mean, you're talking about a 280 lifetime hitter. I know he's never been a huge home run guy, and he did have a tremendous year last year. He had 30-game hitting streak, home run against the Yankees, home run in the All-Star game, and a home run in the World Series.
A 2-0 knuckleball up high. Tim Wakefield did the right thing, though, because that's the count where he used to throw a lot of fastballs, and the hitters would sit on it and take them deep.
As a manager, as Jimmy Williams is, and you were managing Tim Wakefield, do you feel a little helpless when out there a little bit watching him?
You've got to be very, very, very patient, because Tim could get behind the count like he is now, then come back and throw 2 great knuckleballs.
There goes Giles on the 3-1, and he'll come back.
Well, believe it or not, that was a fastball, 77 miles an hour. 3-1 fastball.
How many will he throw?
He'll throw about 90% knuckleballs the whole ball game, and he averages per start this year in 90. He averages about 95 pitches. So Timmy will throw 90% knuckleballs, but that's the first fastball so far in the ball game for Wakefield. Got to come back knuckleball.
Well, the moment, you know why we just stopped? Stepped out of the box. The blimp went over and cast a shadow over the plate. Rip down the left field line. Fair ball. Giles will round third and head home. No relay. We're tied at 2.
You bend that front leg a little bit more when he lands with the lead leg. You can get the ball down just a little bit better.
4 balls to Joey Cora. There are 2 on for the top of the order, and Kenny Lofton. It's a humid day here in Cleveland, although, you know, we're not talking the middle of the summer. It's about 70 degrees humid, which, as you pointed out earlier, pretty good conditions, at least for knuckleball. But, I mean, sometimes the pitcher isn't on.
No, this is good weather for a knuckleball pitcher. Little slight breeze, 70 degrees. Perfect day. Clouds have,
much more humid than yesterday.
Clouds have burned off, but it's a perfect day for a knuckleballer. It's a little bit mechanical right now for Timmy Wakefield. Got to bend that front leg a little bit more when he lands to get that ball down and finish his pitches. You still have to have some mechanics when you throw a knuckleball. You don't use your legs as much, obviously, as you would as if you were a power fastball pitcher. You just got to start the ball down lower in the zone.
1 run home, courtesy of Alomar's double. Sandy is on second base. Joey Cora on first base. Bottom second, 2-2 game. 3-0 to Lofton.
Well, he's not going to get that call because he hasn't been around the plate. Now, when he does throw one down, it's on the inside corner, and Wakefield is now upset. He doesn't get the call from Joe Brinkman because Timmy has been inconsistent so far.
That is a strike. Lofton started for first.
Almost the same pitch. Throw it 2 times in a row to get 1.
Ripped to the gap in right center field. Can Lewis catch up to it? No! Alomar will score. And actually, Cora will not score. As the ball went hopping up and over the wall, and the Indians lose a run on what certainly would have scored 2. And Lofton might have, with his speed, gotten a triple out.
It would have been a triple and 2 runs for sure. It looks like Jimmy Williams, and he is. He's done. And John Wasden, the key for him is to keep the ball down. He's got a pretty good sinker. Mixes in an overhand curveball. Split-fingered fastball. He's got to keep the ball down. He's not a power pitcher.
Omar Vizquel is up with the Indians leading 3-2, but 2 runners in scoring position. Joey Cora, who would have scored had the ball stayed in the park on the Lofton ground rule double. He's at third base is Cora. Lofton at second. Little flare to left field. O'Leary is there. Cora bluffs. And now Lofton is held up between second and third, but he gives back to second because the Red Sox didn't want a chance to run him moving home from third.
Pretty good sinking fastball from Wasden. A couple of good fastballs back to back. Still hit it off the end of the bat. Everything is status quo. Little bluff right there, as you said, by Vizquel. A strike is thrown to the plate. Veritek looking at Vizquel, back at Lofton. And you're absolutely right. He didn't want to throw the ball away and risk losing that run.
Lofton was so far in the middle of the base path that he would have stopped, forced a run down.
And they didn't want to get involved in that.
Here is David Chief Justice. Oh, this is ripped to right. Back he goes. Back. Gone! 3-run home run. The Indians have busted it to 6-2. Cleveland with the 3-run dinger today. So Burba has come in and has immediately done the job. Wasden has come in and has not.
Yeah, you're right, but the key, as you said, was try to get that out because you got the 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up with 2 men on at second and third, and they had a gimme right there with Lofton. Even if Vizquel gets in a run down too, you've got to be able to take that out and not let Justice do what he just did to you.
No, I was going to get you into that, but
I was
just at the first pitch. And now, of course, the moot point is Lofton's ground rule double because all the runs scored anyway.
Right. I just missed location on Justice, though. He wanted to go away. He missed middle in and down.
Manny Ramirez has been hit by a knuckleball and now hit by a fastball.
Well, that's not intentional. That's just a sinker that got away from Wazin, and that's nerves. Here's the pitch. They're trying to come inside. 92 two-seam fastball with movement hits Martinez, like on his left shoulder, maybe.
Thome homered yesterday, and that was such a big home run for him, not because he was big in the game, but remember, he's come back after the hand injury, hit a homer in his first at bat about 10 days ago when he came back, but really has not been the same. And he does think a lot at the plate. Mike Hargrove told me, boy, you know, if he struggles in the first game and a half, I don't want Jimmy thinking too much. Well, the home run yesterday told Jim Thome all he needed to know. I'm okay. I can hit live pitching.
And especially off of Pedro Martinez fastball.
So he was very confident before the game today, although obviously you were gearing in for the knuckleball, and now you have a regular pitcher, if you will.
This guy's from the old school, though. He's such a gamer. As you know, you're close to Jim Thome.
He's my favorite player on this team. Of a team of which you have a lot of favorite players. He's an old timer, you're right.
He has respect for the game of baseball itself. Well, Thome 3-0 will definitely be swinging if he gets anything out over the plate. As he said himself, he's up there to hack. And every hack he takes is a quick one. He does not get cheated at the plate.
In there for a strike, 3-1. The Indians here in the second inning. Well, they're doing what Boston did yesterday, although the Red Sox hung a 2-spot in the first. Dave Burba says, hey, you know, I wasn't even supposed to be pitching now, and I could get a win. And actually, since he didn't start, he could actually leave the game now and get the win if they continue to win.
That is true, yes.
Which he will not be leaving.
No, he's throwing the ball well. He's faced 5 hitters, and he looks good. Burba's throwing great.
Thome skies it. Garcia Parra out on the outfield grass, the tough sun. And he makes the play, but the Indians have hung a 5-spot here in the second. David Justice over the wall. Maybe the wallflowers singing about him.